So hey, what's up, everybody? It's Philip Wilkerson. Just going live real quick, just to talk about what's going on in my mind, and just some thoughts I was thinking about. And it's like a random ramble, but I said earlier on Facebook I was going to do this. So um, I don't know. Earlier this week, uh, my office conducted a webinar on being your best self and bringing your best self or your true self to work. We call it a Real Talk series. And we had a list of Black professionals sharing their experiences at work. And one of the things that really struck me during that conversation was the aspect of that only feeling, the feeling of loneliness, the feeling of being the only. And I don't know. I mean, I think at this current space, I'll be quite transparent. I am doing very well at work. I love my coworkers, have a lot of positive things to say about that. But, I am the only Black male in my office. And there's times where just like for a few seconds, I get that feeling of onlyness. And I don't know. I was just thinking about that the other day about how you could be in a like crowded room. You could be in a room full of 100 people and still feel this feeling of loneliness. And it's just weird. It's particularly weird to think of loneliness, especially during this time of a global pandemic like COVID. And I don't know. I was reflecting on that thought, like of what does loneliness really mean? What does that feeling mean? Like not being alone, but loneliness. And I don't know. As I reflect on that, some of the things I really think I come to grips with is the sense that we are all urging, like all human beings, I believe, even I mean, maybe like a sociopath. Maybe that's the only person. But we're all yearning for this sense of belonging, this sense of connection to other people, this sense of community. And there's times where I know that different marginalized groups, whether you're the only Black person, you're the only gay or transgendered person, you're the only woman, whatever, where there is a feeling that you're in an environment where you don't have a sense of community, a sense of belonging, and that could be a very isolating feeling. And what do you do with that? Do you just sit with that? Do you let it fester? I'm a type of person about action. So when I feel like I'm lonely, I do a lot of things to combat that loneliness. I try to build a community. I try to build connections to other people. But there's times where I guess maybe some people don't have that luxury. That I may have. Maybe either when I say that luxury, like maybe they don't have that personality type to put themselves out there and be vulnerable to build connections with other people, or maybe they just don't have the means, or they don't have the people around them to do that. And so I don't know. I was just really reflecting on it because during that Real Talk series that they did at my office, one of the things that really struck a chord with me was that I was listening to a group of phenomenal panelists, people that have doctorates and just amazing accolades. And no matter how far you go up in the successful ladder, they said it hurt their feelings. I think one of the lines, and I hope I don't miscorrect someone, but as a person that's Black, we had this mindset of resiliency that our ancestors survived. The transatlantic slave trade and just years and years of abuse. and that build up of resiliency, like incredibly strong people. But at the end of the day, we're all people that have feelings. And no matter how resilient you are or how tough you look like on the outside, you have feelings, and those feelings can be hurt. And you feel sadness, you feel grief, you feel loneliness. And so I don't know. I think that's the word of the day is loneliness. And I don't know. I know that I'm probably pretty much the only person on this right now. I really didn't have anything else really to share, any crazy insights. I put this out there to all my past guests that if they wanted to join me today, they can. I put that link in my Facebook group with past Positive Filter guests. If no one joins me, I'll probably wrap it up soon. But I know I just wanted to get on the line and discuss that. I don't think, let's see if I have any comments, Um, and here's Dorothy. What do you do to support yourself during those times? I'm gonna say what I do to support myself during those times of loneliness. I don't know. Recently, what I've done is to combat loneliness, as I said, taking action. I purposely reached out outside of my bubble and reached out to people. Sending texts, making Facebook groups. I don't know, just finding some form of social connection. What up, Dorsey? What up, Mike? Mike D. Thank you. As I said earlier during this pandemic, you definitely have been one of those supports in your podcast, Black Fathers Now, and I've always appreciated you. So shout out to you. And then Dorothy, she's a fan right there. She said hello, and I got to shape up. But those are some of the things I think about. Going back to Dorothy's point, what do I do? I made a point. I made an effort. I had to reach out via text. I send emails. I follow up with people. I ask questions. Organize group walks. I organize Zoom calls with other Black faculty and staff at Mason. I just do what I need to do to build a connection with others. And it took effort, but I think that effort for me is worth it. And hopefully, what I've always thought about too, in regards to that loneliness or that isolating feeling, is that I feel like I'm setting the seeds for later. Like all these social connections, if I can build relationships during adverse times like this, then I'll be more grateful when I get to see people face to face. I built a foundation of relationships that if they can survive this pandemic, to me, in that mind, I really believe that those relationships can survive a lot of things. So those that have been with me during this time definitely are going to be like those lasting relationships. I really knew that this pandemic was going to be a tough time. And in my mind, I was thinking, like, if I have a friendship or a relationship that survives this, then our friendships and relationships can survive. Quite often, just matter of fact, can survive anything. And definitely sounds like self-care is important. I like the idea of planting seeds. Like I said, I'm investing in my relationships, like during this time. These relationships that I've built over time to not only fulfill me or build a sense of community, are just like planting seeds. Like I definitely know that these relationships are going to grow into really prosperous relationships that allow me to grow as a person, to learn as a person, and really, really transform my life. So I don't know. I really appreciate Dorothy and Mike D for joining today. And I thank you for engaging and throwing questions in here. I got another question. When people can be in the same room, what type of events would you like to create to build community? When we're in the same room, I was joking with my neighbors, but I definitely want to randomly get a keg and I don't know, just have like an outdoor party, like a keg barbecue / party, hugs. I definitely on the lookout. Seriously, this was canceled because of the pandemic, but one day I want to do a live podcast show, like a real live show with the audience and the microphones and we interact with the audience face to face, and then use that recording from the live show, to like a podcast, but just like a real live show in front of an audience. That's definitely going to be one of my post-pandemic goals. Me, Lewis Forrest, and Jermaine had that planned before the pandemic, and then it got canceled. So that's one of the things I like to do in person when we have time allowed to do so. I don't know. That's kind of another thing, get together, hugs, high fives, things like that. I think I had something to share, and I kind of let go of it. Let me see. If anyone is listening while I am rambling, please keep on throwing questions into the chat. That will help me pull up what I need to pull up. Excuse me. And let me see what else we got going on right now. And this is really not organized. Really just spur of the moment. Definitely did not plan this at all. Just kind of thinking some things. If you're watching or listening, one of the things I want to share is that I'm going to, if you're bored or you're following along, I'm going to share a couple things in the chat, a couple links in the chat. Anyone in the Positive Filter Facebook group can join in. Let me see if I share screen and then say share screen. And then there we go. And then present. And if you're following along, hey, it's covering my face. Let me see if I can do it like this. There you go. Do the QR code, see if that works. And maybe, that's my random friend survey. I just felt like throwing that out there, if you're listening. And then let me take that back and then go back to this and then take away there. There you go. All right, let me see what we got here. You were doing a TEDx tryouts before the pandemic. Are you going to try that again? What topics are you passionate about talking about? So one of the things I'm going to do, definitely want to try out. Definitely I'm going to continue to try to do TEDx talks until someone gives me an opportunity to talk on stage. If they don't, so be it. I'm going to keep trying. And then topics I want to talk about, it's going to be about either growth mindset, living a life of significance or significance to others, or impactful lives, the value of friendships and kindness. And then I think another topic that's kind of brewing in my head is about the power of visualization, the power of looking at what you want to do in the future, reverse engineering, kind of like reverse engineering your life. So those would be some of the topics that I'm interested in doing. So we'll see, keep trying and see if that happens. I guess I'm going to do a couple more minutes and see if there's any more questions. While I'm pulling up some links to share in the chat with those. Thank you, Dorothy. While I'm doing that to share, I have some links I want to share with some people, just random links. If you are interested in connecting with me, here's all my podcast links. I'm going to throw that in the chat. Positive Filter on everything. For those that are listening, let me see if I can copy that. And I got it copied. Let me see. Control. See if it worked. There you go. Those are my podcast links. For those and I threw that in the chat. And then additionally, just randomly, if you're interested, I'm a member of Toastmasters, George Mason Toastmasters. So if you want to join that, I'm going to throw that in the chat as well. And then I don't know. I think that's it. I don't know. I think I'm pretty much good to go. Here's some of the links, Instagram, and then the Toastmaster Instagram for those that are or social media. I don't know. That was it. I was really just talking about loneliness and talking to people and just rambling a little bit. I might see how this goes later. Test the video camera. I appreciate everyone that's listening or came in today. Might rip the audio. Thank you, Dorothy, for your support. Shout out to you. Congrats on being 40 under 40 for Northern Virginia. And I'm really proud of you. That's great things. Doing big things like always. And I think that's it, really. I don't know. I really didn't have a closing. I just wanted to get on and play around with my camera and talk a little bit and ramble a little bit. So who knows? Was it like a thing like feeling cute, may post this later. I might rip this audio and share it. If not, this video will be alive, so nothing, nothing particular. Just felt like going online and connecting with an audience, whether they're here or not. And doing big things like Positive Filter, trying. So as I said earlier, feel free to connect with me, Positive Filter, on everything. We have a new episode coming out on Monday with Brother Blake Morant about a career in law. I'm really excited about that. Have a bunch of episodes lined up. Oh, if you want to be a guest on my podcast, I'll throw that link in here too, the podcast guest link. I'm always open to people that want to be a guest on the podcast. So I'll throw that in the chat as well. Let me see what that is. And so if you're interested in being a guest, feel free throwing that in the chat. And I'll review it, and then we'll link up. And I like to just talk to anybody about anything. So here's my guest link. I'll throw that in the chat as well. So thank you so much for listening. I appreciate you. Have a great one. Be safe. Wear your mask. Social distance. We're still in the middle of a pandemic, even though some of us have our vaccines. Continue to be safe. Continue to think about others. Follow Positive Filter. Check out all the episodes on Monday and Friday. And we're out.